beneath the rugged emerald peaks of the Pacific Northwest. The Earth hums with a restless pulse, a secret symphony no one can ignore. In July 2025, a monstrous 8.8 quake off Russia sent shockwaves rippling through the planet, and the Cascade volcanoes, Rainier, St. Helens, Hood, Shasta, answered in unison, pulsing as if alive, their rhythm reverberating like a primal heartbeat. For hours, these titans beat in sync, as if the entire range was a living, breathing beast. But the Cascades don't need a distant quake to stir. They've rewritten landscapes and tested humanity with sudden eruptions for millennia. The question isn't if these giants will roar again, but how soon and how fierce. Plunge with me into this volcanic crucible, where the Earth's fury waits to reshape the Northwest, and ask yourself, are you ready for the day these mountains sing their final, shattering note? On July 29th, 2025, a magnitude 8.8 quake tore through the Kamchatka Trench near Russia, rattling the Pacific Rim. Tsunami sirens wailed from Alaska to Japan, but thousands of miles away, something uncanny unfolded. The Cascade Range, stretching 700 miles from Mount Baker in Washington to Mount Shasta in California, began to pulse in eerie harmony. Seismic monitors lit up with faint, rhythmic tremors, not random, but synchronized across nearly 14 volcanoes, from Rainier's icy crown to the Three Sisters' jagged spires. For 6 hours, these bursts came every 11 minutes, like a cosmic metronome. The Pacific Northwest Seismic Network stood stunned. This wasn't aftershock noise. It was a coordinated signal, as if the Cascades were instruments in a hidden orchestra. Was this mere resonance from a distant jolt, or a warning that these slumbering giants were stirring as one? The first to steal the spotlight was Mount Rainier. At 12:17 p.m. on July 30th, just 8 hours after Kamchatka's quake, low-frequency pulses echoed beneath its southeastern flank. Precise, deliberate, unsettling. Minutes later, Mount St. Helens joined in, followed by Mount Hood, then Oregon's Three Sisters. One by one, the Cascades answered an unseen call. Alerts flickered across the Northwest, but no magma surged, no ground swelled, no gases spiked. These weren't eruption tremors, yet their eerie similarity to pre-eruption signals sent scientists scrambling. Dr. Alina Valdez put it starkly. It's not an eruption signal, it's the mountains listening to a global pressure wave. Dr. Andrew Forrester added, this timing, every 11 minutes, isn't geological noise, it's deliberate. Over 40 seismic stations captured the phenomenon, a faint but unified rhythm across the range, like a bell choir struck by a planetary hammer. Why did the Cascades sing together? The Kamchatka quake's energy, equivalent to millions of atomic bombs, rippled through Earth's crust, nudging the Pacific Plate, a tectonic titan driving the Cascades' fire. These volcanoes, perched on a volatile mix of faults and magma chambers, acted like tuning forks, hypersensitive to the slightest shift. But was this just vibration, or something deeper? Some scientists whispered of resonance, standing waves coursing through the mantle, stirring molten reservoirs like chords in a cathedral. At Rainier, sensors caught faint heat spikes near fumaroles. At Shasta, geophones hummed with rare ground noise. Even Japan and Russia reported sympathetic tremors in their volcanic arcs, hinting at a global network of seismic threads. The indigenous Salish peoples, whose stories revere Rainier as Tahoma, a sacred giant, have long told of mountains that speak when the earth grows restless, weaving a cultural tapestry of awe and warning. By August 1st, the pulses faded. No eruptions, no heat anomalies, just silence. Yet the implications shook the scientific world. The Cascades' volcanic micro-resonance suggested a planetary connection, with Kamchatka's jolt briefly flexing the entire range. At Newberry Caldera, geothermal output ticked up slightly. Offshore, Hydroacoustic sensors caught faint tones beneath the arc. Dr. Wren of the Global Seismology Institute declared, "Volcanoes don't act alone. They're part of Earth's pulse, responding together." This wasn't magma rising, but a fleeting exhale of a connected system. Still, the Cascades need no foreign trigger to be deadly. They're a volcanic dynasty with a history of cataclysm. The Cascade Arc, born from the Juan de Fuca Plate's subduction beneath North America, is a 700-mile chain of stratovolcanoes. Steep, explosive peaks of lava, ash, and shattered rock. Unlike Hawaii's gentle shield volcanoes, these are powder kegs, prone to pyroclastic flows, ash plumes, and lahars, mud flows that race at highway speeds. Mount St. Helens' 1980 eruption, triggered by a massive landslide, flattened 230 square miles, killed 57, and sent ash global, costing billions. Rainier, draped in glaciers, has erupted repeatedly over 10,000 years, its lahars threatening Tacoma's valleys. Mount Hood's late 1700s blasts dusted Portland, while Mount Mazama's 7,700-year-old eruption birthed Crater Lake's iconic scar. Shasta's frequent outbursts over 4,000 years menace California's north. Even quieter peaks like Glacier Peak and Mount Baker have roared before. Their silence a buildup, not a reprieve. Recent months cracked that silence. In July 2025, Rainier logged over 1,300 quakes in weeks, peaking at 40 per hour, too small to feel, but a deafening signal to scientists. St. Helens, Hood, and Adams joined with minor tremors and gas leaks, whispering of unrest. By September, the USGS reported normal background levels, but history screams caution. St. Helens stirred again in 2004, building a lava dome over 3 years, proof it's alive. The Cascades' rhythm, long quiets, sudden chaos, means any swarm could be a prelude. Rainier tops the danger list, its glaciers poised to unleash lahars that could bury towns in 30 minutes. Hood, 50 miles from Portland, threatens ashfall and water contamination for 2 million. Shasta's size and location menace highways, while St. Helens remains a likely repeat offender. Lesser-known peaks like the Three Sisters aren't dormant either. Their eruptions could surprise. A Cascade eruption could spark power outages, flight chaos, and billions in losses, rippling nationwide. The Lummi Nation, near Mount Baker, tell of fire mountains in oral histories, a reminder that indigenous knowledge has long recognized these peaks' power. Monitoring is robust. Seismic nets, GPS, gas sensors, and satellites watch 24/7 via the Cascades Volcano Observatory. Hazard maps and drills exist near Rainier, St. Helens, and Hood, but gaps remain. Some valleys lack dense sensors, and funding stretches thin. Forecasting is art, not science. Swarms may fizzle or flare. For now, the Cascades rest at normal. But rest isn't peace. Cities creep closer to hazard zones, glaciers shrink, risks evolve. When the silence breaks, preparation will decide if it's tragedy or triumph. Are the Cascades warming up, or just flexing their might? Drop your thoughts below. Where are you watching from? Subscribe for more dives into Earth's fiery heart.